AITA for letting my family think I'm broke while I secretly own a multi-billion-dollar company? Buckle up, Reddit, because this one's a ride. For context, I, 2F, was the scapegoat child of my family. My parents treated me like unpaid labor while my younger sister, Miss Golden Child, aka Jessica, was worshipped like a tiny, chubby-cheeked deity. Jessica got whatever she wanted. A new bike? Done. The latest iPhone? Already in the cart. A weekend trip to Paris because she felt stressed? Why not, sweetheart? Meanwhile, I was expected to parent myself by the age of 6 and look after Her Majesty full-time. She stole my clothes, ruined them, and then giggled about it. She broke my laptop and blamed me for it. She used to intentionally provoke me just so she could run to our parents crying about how I was bullying her. And it worked. Every single time. By the time I was 18, I was so desperate to escape that I skipped college and took the first job I could get, working as a cashier in some bougie boutique. Meanwhile, my parents sold both their cars to fund Jessica's very important fashion marketing degree, aka 4 years of partying and Instagram photo shoots. They told me they just couldn't afford to help me. When I asked them why, they laughed and said, "Sweetie, not everyone is meant for success." Yeah, that's an actual quote. How I accidentally became a billionaire. Fast forward to my early 20s. I was working at this fancy boutique when I met Carla, one of our most loyal customers. She was rich. The kind of rich where she bought designer clothes like they were candy bars. She liked my no-nonsense attitude and one day just casually mentioned that she owned a massive trading company. She noticed how sharp I was with numbers and offered to teach me the ropes. I grabbed the opportunity like my life depended on it, which it did. Within 5 years, Carla and I had built an empire together. We weren't just making money, we were printing it. At 27, I was filthy rich. But did I tell my family? Hell no. Why? Because they had spent years treating me like garbage, laughing at my minimum wage lifestyle, and reminding me that I was the loser of the family, while Jessica was their shining star. So I did what any petty, long-game revenge strategist would do. I let them believe I was still broke. Whenever I visited, I made sure to dress down. Cheap jeans, a basic t-shirt, shoes from Target. Meanwhile, Jessica was always bragging about her mediocre achievements like they were Olympic gold medals. I got promoted to junior marketing manager at some mid-tier company that paid her peanuts. I just bought a designer handbag on a credit card she'd never pay off. I'm so successful, unlike some people. I sat through every single one of their ridiculous parties celebrating Jessica's huge milestones. My personal favorite? When they threw a literal banquet because she managed to rent a 1-bedroom apartment in a luxury complex, aka an overpriced shoebox. Meanwhile, in my head, I was laughing. Oh, if only they knew how much I've actually achieved, they'd be embarrassed. How the truth came out and why I refused to help them. Here's where karma comes in. A few months ago, their house burned to the ground. No one was hurt, but oof. Suddenly, Jessica, my parents, and their entire existence went up in flames, along with their savings. They were desperate, homeless, panicked, and naturally, Jessica came running to me first. Ugh, I hate to ask, but can you lend us some money? She whined. Just until we get back on our feet? Cue the Oscar-worthy performance from me. I gasped dramatically. Jess, you know I barely make enough to survive. I live in a tiny studio in the worst part of town. Jessica sighed like she was talking to a stray dog. Yeah, I figured. Never mind. My parents didn't even bother asking me. They straight up moved in with Jessica. Within weeks, her perfect life started crumbling. Suddenly, she wasn't just the spoiled princess, she was the caretaker. The one paying all the bills, the one sacrificing her lifestyle to take care of our parents. No more fancy brunches, no more luxury bags, no more treating herself to self-care vacations. It was glorious. Meanwhile, I was thriving. I had finally moved far away, bought a massive estate, and was enjoying my best life. And the best part? I still checked in on them just to watch the chaos unfold. Jessica started cracking under the pressure. She couldn't keep up with the expenses. She was exhausted from dealing with our parents 24/7. And then came the cherry on top. She found out the truth. She had somehow stumbled onto an article about my company. A big article, one that listed me as the co-founder of a multi-billion-dollar trading firm. She lost her mind. She called me, screaming, "Are you freaking kidding me? You're rich? You let me struggle while you're a billionaire?" I just sipped my expensive wine and said, "I thought you were so successful? Shouldn't you be able to handle it?" Dead. Silence. Then she had the audacity to ask me to teach her how to trade. Oh, the absolute joy I felt shutting that down. Sorry, Jess. Not everyone is meant for success. Click. Final update. Karma. Served ice cold. It's been 6 months since that call, and let me tell you, Jessica is struggling. She's still stuck with our parents, who, shocker, are horrible housemates. They nitpick everything she does. They complain about her cooking. They yell at her for spending money on herself. Basically, she's living the nightmare they put me through my entire childhood. And I'm happier than I've ever been. I finally cut them all off. I moved somewhere beautiful, peaceful, where no one knows me as the family scapegoat. And you know what? They don't have to fight with me anymore. Now, they're fighting among themselves. They're finally realizing what terrible individuals they each are. And me, I'm sipping my wine, watching the chaos from a distance, and enjoying the sweetest revenge of all. Living my best life. Without them. So, Reddit, did I go too far? Or was this just karma doing its thing?